Hello, my name is Eleni Hughes. I'm an artist working with immersive and interactive visuals and sound. In this video, I'm going to share a project that I created and debuted at the 2025 MIT Reality Hack. For the design, I was inspired by the paintings of Kandinsky. With a background in music and technology, I've been working with interactive systems for many years, including wearable technology and augmented reality. I started by designing the tattoos in Photoshop, creating separate layers for each shape so that they could be individually triggered and animated. For the synth tattoo, I designed it in Photoshop first and then created 3D models in Blender to bring it to life. However, for the loops design, I decided to stick with 2D images as it wasn't necessary for the design and I was short on time. Before moving on to animation, I needed to create the music. Each tattoo needed to represent an instrument, so I designed the sounds in Ableton. For the loops tattoo, I created some simple hip-hop inspired beats to complement the visuals. With the sounds in place, I moved on to After Effects. I worked with each layer against the background, importing the different beats and animating them to match the waveforms. I wanted each layer to respond to what was happening in the music. So for example, this one is animated with the bass drum, while others respond to different elements in the track. I continued this process for each element I wanted to include in the loop, animating the keyframes to match the music. This step involved fine-tuning the animations to ensure they fit perfectly with the sounds. For the augmented reality portion, I decided to use Web AR so that people could simply scan the QR code and be taken directly to the content rather than needing to download an app. To build the AR experience, I used the Zapworks platform. I used Designer because I wanted to separate each sound into distinct scenes, triggered when users interacted with the tattoos. In Designer, I created a scene for each layer, linking it to the scene that would play the animations. Once the animation finished, it would return to the home screen. This allowed for smooth transitions between different layers of content. Now, Designer actually allows you to do tests within your browser and on your mobile devices, and I recommend doing both, because you can actually get different results depending on which platform you're using. I definitely got different results on desktop and mobile. And while most people are obviously going to be using this on their phone, desktop allows you to quickly check whether or not what you're doing is working. The next thing I needed to do was test how this was going to be working on the body, so I used some cheap temporary tattoo paper to print out a prototype to put on arms. One issue that I saw that I would run into was that I had a transparent background, and while this is fine for lighter skin tones, it probably wouldn't be read very well on people with darker skin tones, so I added a background color. While the process was fairly easy, I did run into an issue that caused me hours of delay, and this was an option that allows users to share their screens and do recording of what's happening during the experience. Now, I had enabled originally snapshot and record so that people could take videos. And there's an option on there to enable or disable high resolution video. And actually that was what was the bug. When I had it enabled, it disabled my alpha, and when I finally disabled it, my transparent video, my RGB alpha video, was playing back. As usual, it had nothing really to do with formats or anything like that. I spent about 2 hours on the phone with Francesca and Chris from Zapper, who were great, but ultimately it was that weird bug, so hopefully they'll have that fixed. The final result was great. I used a printer around Barcelona to print the tattoos, which last for about 3 to 4 days. In the end, I had better tracking results with the yellow tattoo than with the pink one, although both work. I did test image targeting on curved surfaces as well, but since this is designed more for bottles and cans, it didn't translate well for bodies. I printed 600 tattoos and delivered them to Boston to share with all the participants at the MIT Reality Hack. The response was positive, the platform connected quickly and reliably, and I'm hoping to produce more of these designs in the future. In the future, I'd really like to be able to integrate 3D animations into this work. However, GLB files, which are used by WebAR, are not able to integrate vertex animations, which is why in the end, I used 2D animation instead. I want to say thanks to MIT for giving me the artist grant to make this project possible, and to Zapper for making it possible for me to go in person and for providing all of the support. They were really, really helpful and responsive with anything that I needed for this project.